Breaking news here on Ravens Rundown. Ravens tight end Mark Andrews is likely done for the remainder of the 2023 season after injuring his ankle in the first drive of the game. That's according to Ravens head coach John Harbaugh. Now they move forward with Isaiah Likely and Charlie Kolar filling that void. Mark Andrews, one of the best tight ends in football, the favorite weapon of Lamar Jackson, a huge loss for this Ravens team. They played well tonight, but now they lose one of their best players. Now, for more on tonight's performance, we go to our postgame reaction right here on Ravens Rundown. Hello, win column. The Ravens dominate a statement win against the arch rival Cincinnati Bengals, 34-20. A nice bounce back from the debacle of Sunday's performance against the Cleveland Browns. Welcome into this postgame edition of Ravens Rundown by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here. Thanks for joining us with a complete recap and analysis of what we just saw. Lamar Jackson was really good tonight. In complete control, commanded this game. He took a lot of hits, and there was times where he looked shaken up, where we wondered if he was hurt and, he's stepped out of the game, and all that. But he was a warrior. He was a modern-day warrior tonight with his performance. The stats don't tell all that story. 16 of 26, 264 yards, 2 touchdowns. Also had 54 yards on the ground off of 9 carries. The run game was really solid all the way around. Gus Edwards, 12 carries, 62 yards, 2 touchdowns. The Rook, Keaton Mitchell, with 8 carries for 33 yards. He was really good. And then the receiving core, OBJ, with his best night that he's had receiving-wise since week 2 of 2019, with 4 catches for 116 yards. Got a little banged up at the end of the game. We're waiting to see more on his status later, but it was a career night for OBJ, a incredible performance for him. Meanwhile, Joe Burrow left the game for the Bengals with an injury. And he was kind of out of sorts tonight. The Ravens crowd was so incredible at the bank tonight that they drew several false start penalties and delay of games. And Joe Burrow didn't really get in a ton of rhythm before he got knocked out of the game. Joe Mixon was a problem to deal with. He was the best player for the Bengals tonight, both with the rushing game and also as a receiver. But the Ravens did a really good job of containing that elite receiving core of Cincinnati, holding Jamar Chase just 2 catches for 12 yards, and Tyler Boyd 3 catches for 22 yards. The injury front for Baltimore. Mark Andrews with the ankle injury. He left in the first quarter on the very opening drive. Got a big catch, first down, and his ankle was rolled up. Took him a minute to get off the field, but he did walk off on his own power. Meanwhile, OBJ, an injury at the end of the game after a huge catch he had, a shoulder injury of sorts. We'll wait and see what both of their status is going forward, but nonetheless, 2 big players for this Ravens team, not ideal there with their injuries on that front. What is your one-word reaction to the Ravens' performance and what we saw tonight? My one word is statement. This Ravens team delivered a statement. Look, beating the Lions the way they did was unreal. Beating the Seahawks the way they did was unreal. But those are still NFC teams. You did this tonight. The score is not indicative of how much they controlled and dominated this game. What you did tonight was against a divisional team, a team that was picked to finish towards the top of the AFC. You delivered a statement, put the rest of the National Football League on notice with this performance tonight. The Ravens are one of the best teams in the AFC, and it showed with this performance. The tail of the tape, the numbers comparing these two teams. Ravens outgained the Bengals 405 yards to 272, 22 first downs. Third down, the Ravens defense really delivered, holding the Bengals to just 2 third down conversions, while the Ravens were 50% on third downs. Time of possession, I know that was one thing we talked about in the pregame, was that the Ravens really needed to do what they can to win the time of possession because the Bengals had not won a game all season long when they lost the time of possession. That stat holds, But the Ravens really controlled this game. They ran fast tempo, and it worked. They slowed the game down, ran the football, and that worked as well. They were never out of control of dictating the tempo of this game. Folks, no better way to celebrate a Ravens victory than subbing for Ravens Dubs. We had a hell of a time on our watch party on the channel. We surpassed 13,000 subscribers this week, and now we're going for 14,000 subscribers on the channel. For daily Baltimore Ravens news, rumors, live shows, watch parties, mailbags, and more, this is the channel for you. And I got to tell you, we had such a good time at the watch party. If you missed out, don't worry. We're going to be back for another watch party next week when the Ravens take on the Chargers. We'll see you then. More of the numbers here for you comparing these two teams. The Bengals offense held under 300 yards. Passing game was limited, 136 total yards, 136 rushing yards. You didn't force a turnover tonight, but you still did everything you wanted, what you needed to do to shut down Cincinnati there. The Ravens offense, good balance here. They ran it well. They passed it well, over 400 yards, and you took care of the football. That was another big key that we talked about heading into tonight for Baltimore was limiting turnovers. The recipe's been pretty simple to beat this Baltimore Ravens team this year. It's been to force turnovers and to get on a run the fourth quarter. And there was never those opportunities for Cincinnati. The Ravens did what they needed to do. A lot of different options of who could be the MVP tonight. You could go Lamar. You could go Gus with his 2 touchdowns. You could go OBJ. I mean, Patrick Queen played well. I mean, the pass rush was just phenomenal as well. I mean, with Justin Matabuke, Dafeowe, among others. Who was the MVP tonight? My game ball? I'm going to give my game ball to OBJ. OBJ, yes, OBJ. We love OBJs around here on Ravens Rundown. He gets my MVP award tonight. Give your game ball in the comment section. Let me know. The individual statistics. Let's run through these. Lamar, 16 of 26, 264 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. Made some really nice throws, too. I don't want to hear any more about Lamar's not that great of a passer, can't move the football down the field. He did everything you wanted in that passing game, was effective on the ground as well. The Gus bus. He and Keaton Mitchell were a good 1-2 combo. Gus, he was awesome in short yardage situations and such. Keaton Mitchell had his moments. This is going to be your top 2 backs going forward. These guys are going to lead the way. OBJ, here's what we're talking about. 4 catches, 116 yards. This is what the Ravens paid for. We had talked about going into tonight, the Ravens weren't getting what they had paid for out of OBJ, that it wasn't looking like what they had bargained for with all that money. You know, what was it, close to $18 million they paid for OBJ? Tonight was the night that they finally got what they bargained for of this performance. And hopefully there's more of these type of caliber performances from OBJ going forward. And hopefully he's healthy and okay after that injury that he suffered at the end of the game. We'll see. Today's show is sponsored by Game Time. Game Time is the place to go for tickets to sporting events, concerts, comedy shows, theater productions, and more. For the best seats, the lowest prices guaranteed, check out Game Time today. Game Time makes it real easy for you. You choose the event you want to go to. They got the prices listed. They have the seats. You can see if you like the seat or not. And then within a matter of moments, you're checking out with Game Time. And you can use Apple Pay, Google Pay, whatever you're feeling. They make it real easy for you. $20 off with the promo code RAVENSCHAT. The link is in the comments and the description of today's video. Download Game Time today. Terms and conditions do apply. Promo code RAVENSCHAT for $20 off. What's your confidence level in the Ravens after Week 11? I'm feeling as good as I have felt all year about the Baltimore Ravens at this point. I mean, this looks like a complete football team. This looks like the best Ravens team. I'll go on record and say this. This looks like the best Ravens team since the team that won the Super Bowl against the 49ers. That's how good this team is. Lamar's playing great. Roquan's playing great. Everything is good. Vibes are high. Next 6 games, Chargers coming up. That's not a given. Road game. Justin Herbert's capable of doing things anytime. You play the Rams after that. And Matthew Stafford, I know the season isn't going their way, but you still have Stafford. You still have Aaron Donald and Cooper Kupp. Not necessarily easy. The Jags after that on the road. Jags are a good football team. Niners are a good football team. You take on them after that on Christmas. And then the Dolphins and the Steelers. Dolphins have a dynamic offense. The Steelers, obviously, you already lost them earlier in the year, and they're going to be in playoff contention. So the final 6 games, it is going to be a murderous row ahead, but I believe this Ravens team is capable of doing something special. For more Ravens coverage, we're with you every day, not just the watch parties, but the daily news and rumors, the live shows, mailbags, and more. This is the channel for you. Subscribe now to Ravens Rundown, and we will see you next time right here on the channel.